just finished my second shift in the PICU and it absolutely slayed. It was a really good shift. So we got back one of our kiddos that we had yesterday, and then we had a new kiddo who was kind of stable enough to be transferred to the floor. So that's kind of what we thought the plan was gonna be today, or last night I should say, but that didn't end up happening. But it was a really good night. I am just loving it. Like, I don't know, I'm just having a really good time. It's really fun, and I feel like I'm just kind of picking things up like really quickly. I feel like I'm really picking things up quickly, which is good. My preceptor has had really great feedback for me, which is making me feel like good. I have to like kind of get a little bit more comfortable with charting, but I actually brought home with me, I wanted to grab one sheet, but I didn't end up actually getting it. Also, don't mind my nail. I lost it last night during caring for my patient. I lost my nail. All right, you guys, it is the next day, maybe, not sure when we last chatted, but I feel like my camera's being weird. Let me see. I feel like the way I have kind of gotten used to meal prepping has changed very dramatically. So I am way more of the like quick and easy and simple, and that's just what we're doing. So the goal is to prep at least 20 meals, right? That's kind of the vibe, because my boyfriend and I are both working. We're on completely opposite schedules. So sometimes I'll leave certain meals like open or free because I know that we will be together or something along those lines. So basically, I think that's clean. So the goal is like anywhere from like 15 to 20 meals I like to prep, and then some stuff I won't prep because I'm like, we can just grab chicken that day on the way home and just make something super quick so it's fresh, just so I don't get tired of the meal prep. But essentially what I picked up at the store was I got quinoa, I got couscous, and then we have white rice here. So there was that. I got grapes because I saw them and they looked good. And I just get like weird cravings for grapes. I got some seasoning because we were out of the Kinder's cowboy butter. And then I also got these because we got some pork chops. And then for meats, like salmon is one of those things that like sometimes we'll decide to cook at home and we'll just make it fresh. We'll just go pick up broccoli and we'll pick up salmon and then we'll just make it. I honestly don't feel like food lasts as long. I feel like people always say like I'm crazy, but I'm not. Like I swear food just does not hold up the same. To meal prep this week, I have 2 things of pork chops. When I'm prepping a meal for me and my boyfriend, like each of us will get 2, so there's 6 in each one, so that is 6 meals off the bat with this. So I'll prep this with the couscous and maybe some rice, because I don't think the couscous will be enough for 6 meals, but it should be enough for at least 4. Oh, yeah, I mean the couscous is really dense in terms, like I feel like it's really filling. There's 2 servings per container. So I guess this is actually only gonna be good for 2 of our meals, so we'll use rice for the rest. I got 3 containers of chicken tenderloin. So one of these I'm going to cut up and just season all of this the same. And this I'm going to use to mix with pasta I have from Trader Joe's, which you just heat up on the stove. And so I'll just cut it up, and then it's like a chicken pasta, and it's super easy because I don't have to prep any of the pasta. I just cook the chicken, put the pasta on the stove, and then boom, it's ready. And then these I'll prep probably all in like the cowboy butter, or sometimes I'll split like the seasonings. I'll do one in cowboy, one in the other. This, for the most part, all of this is gonna go with quinoa. I might make 1 or 2 with rice, but probably not. And then I got some sirloin strips. I really like getting this for meal preps. Like if we're gonna have a nice steak at home, I'll just buy it. But this is really good because you can just season it, throw it on, and then I'll just add like rice and sometimes like broccoli or like mashed potatoes. We don't have any mashed potatoes, so I'm probably just gonna do rice, but just give some variety in between like the pork and everything. I try to mix it up. Okay, so this is kind of what the meal prep looks like. So this is the couscous, this one has rice, this one has quinoa, quinoa rice, quinoa. These are gonna be for the steak. And then I have, this is like gnocchi, and then I have these two here, which is gonna be for fettuccine alfredo. I think I'm gonna end up having a significant amount of chicken left over because this is a lot of meals. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 16 meals, and the goal was about, I literally swear by this thing. It's amazing. I cooked all the pork chops on it, so 10 out of 10. Take the rest of the chicken that I make, or the steak, whichever is left over, probably the chicken, and I'll just put it in a big container so that as I need it, we'll get working. And then I have the Blackstone here, which I can't tell if you guys can see. It's kind of like hidden here, and I'm making the pork chops. So I'm about to pull the pork chops out because they're gonna be done, and then I'll prep the pork chops, and then we'll go ahead and cook all of the chicken. And I have my second pasta there, and then I'll do the steak at the very, very end. Okay, so I never actually filled you guys in on what happened. I am gonna go upstairs and get ready for clinical soon. I just have literally been downstairs doing a puzzle after I finished meal prepping everything. But basically what has kind of been happening is I reached out to my administrator. As soon as like the final grades were released, I tried to get in touch with my professor because typically you get some questions back. It's not like a guarantee, but like most of the time you do. And our class was just performing so badly on these exams. Like I knew that we weren't getting questions back. And so to me, I was like, okay, if we would have gotten questions back on the first or second exam, you know, I wouldn't be in this situation because I needed 2 questions like back. I was 2 questions off. Not even a full 2 questions, but just the way that the like percentages work out. Not even like 2 full points like back on an exam. So I was trying to get in touch with my professor to essentially see like, you know, did she reach out to the program director? Like, did she not have any questions? Like, did we get questions back? Like just trying to establish a baseline for where I was at in the situation. And long story short, the professor, I guess, had tried to reach out to the program director, couldn't get in touch with the program director, this, that, and the other. So I had been emailing and trying to call the dean the entire time, from the Friday that the grades came out to like now, have been trying to like handle the situation. So I obviously didn't have to repeat the quarter. Well, you know, I've been going through the motions. It's been nearly impossible. I met with the dean, and the dean told me, you know, that she basically needed to like verify that everything I was telling her was correct. But if my professor, you know, thought there were questions that should have come back, like she would, you know, give them back. But she didn't want to promise me that. I think because she thought maybe like I was trying to throw my professor under the bus, like, or something. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, well, then I told my professor that because my professor was like, well, I don't want you to fail, obviously. Like, I don't think, you know, you should be in this situation. It's really unfortunate. So she took it upon herself to email the dean and like, you know, send her all these questions that she felt should have been given back. She had 7 questions just from the 3rd exam, like not any other exam, just the 3rd one. And like I said, I needed 2. And she was like, these were like, no doubt about it, like book, evidence, like these were bad questions. So I'm kind of like feeling for the first time a little bit of relief, like maybe this is gonna happen. So she emailed her on Tuesday last week, so I was at clinical. And all day at clinical, I was waiting to get the email, like, or phone call, like, okay, we're giving the questions back, like, you know, leave clinical, whatever, this is your last clinical, whatever the situation is. Well, it never happened, and then I emailed the dean on Wednesday to follow up, because she never called me like she said she was going to, and it had been over a week. And she told me that, you know, basically, long story short, she couldn't agree with my rationales, so that was kind of it. And then she, in her email, gave an example question. We had this question about magnesium sulfate. And she was like, you know, normal respirations are 12, so that wouldn't be the answer. But I was really confused because I'm like, well, I didn't pick 12. Like, for the answer, like, I know those are normal respirations. Like, I know 100% what I picked. And, you know, what are we doing? So I ended up talking to my professor that night, and basically the dean told my professor that because my professor like didn't follow the proper chain of command, she wasn't going to even like consider giving the questions back, which just sparked an absolute nerve in me, because how are you going to like preach, how are you going to like tell me that if something is to happen, like it's going to, and then like basically penalize me for my teacher not being aware or doing like her job? Like that's just not fair when like this impacts like my life significantly, and it also impacts like the school and like accreditation and like all this stuff. So I lost it. So I went and found the email addresses for every single program director, my like leadership staff, the professor, the dean, and I put together this insane email. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Like, one thing about me, you do not want to like make me angry, because the thing is like she could have easily told me when we sat down in our meeting that like she wasn't gonna do anything. Like she could have easily just said, you know, like it is what it is, I'm not gonna do anything. But that's not what she said. She was like, I will change your grade if I go to your professor and your professor tells me. She never went to the professor, and she never followed up with me, and the professor went to her to advocate on my behalf, and she said like, you know, no, which, okay, I'm confused. Like that makes no sense. So I responded back to her email, and I threw all of these people in it.
And this is what I wrote back. It literally, I like can't show you too much, but like for a distance, I'm gonna be able to like see how like long the email is. So I basically said, you know, like, thanks for responding.
Happy clinical day. Per usual, I am crying on the way home. I'm like honestly in the most messed up mental state of mind. Like I feel like I am actually going clinically insane, because I don't even like understand what like has transpired throughout the day. I asked like if I could meet with someone outside of the dean, because she is like not answering, like literally not answering any of my emails. And this is not like me making it up. This is like why I'm so genuinely confused, is like no professor, no one has said anything to me about like anything I'm saying being unprofessional. But I basically got an email today that, because I asked like, I basically was asking, like, the dean was like, well, you can meet with me to talk about the issues. And like, mind you, I have been meeting with her to talk about these issues, and like, she won't answer me. Like, she's just completely like avoiding like answering any of my questions. She's just like, the decision like is what it is. And I'm like, I understand the decision is what it is. I'm not asking you to change your decision. I'm asking to like understand like how this decision came to be, and like the process is in place, because there's no specific, like, you're telling me one thing and then doing the opposite. So I'm confused, like any normal person would be confused. And basically I got an email today that if I bring the issue up again, they will like dismiss me from the program, which is just like super frustrating, because it's like at no point in time have I been rude or unprofessional. Every email I've sent, I've not only checked and triple checked myself, but I've sent it to other people, including faculty and staff, to make sure that I'm not coming across like inappropriate, but that I'm just asking for clarification. And it's just like I'm being inappropriate and like being threatened to be kicked out of the program for asking for clarification as to like how this came to be. And I emailed the dean, and she was like, you know, if you want to talk about it, you can be with me. And I was like, okay, like that's fine. Can I just, and then I was like, can I just ask like, you know, why there's no one else like I can meet with? Because I've already been trying to meet with her and like communicating with her, and it's not happening until like, you know, the second. And when I do meet with her, she's not addressing any of my concerns. So it's like, why can I not meet with somebody else? Like, or why, like, you know, is no one else like, why is no one else like included on these emails? And she basically told me her response to that was, I'll take this as you do not want to meet with me and the matter is officially closed. And then she told me that, like I said, if I bring it up again, I'll get kicked out of the program. So I guess I'm done talking about it. And I guess this is just, you know, the new reality for me, which it's been the reality for me. Like, I don't care about the points. Like, it's never been about the freaking point. Like, I want to understand why this like happened and why nothing was done about it and like why I'm being penalized for something like my professor didn't do. Like, I want to know why. Wanting to know why is completely different than like begging for the point to be back. I've said in every single email, I respect the decision to not give the point back. At the end of the day, like, it is what it is, and like, you know, whatever. I'm addressing all of these other concerns that I brought up that no one is answering me about. Valid concerns. What? And I'm just like, bro, I don't even like care anymore. Like, I want to be done so bad. I don't even want to be a nurse. I don't even want to do this anymore. Like, I don't even want to graduate anymore. I don't. Like, I literally, the only reason I'm finishing this is so that I just have the degree and, like, it is what it is, because what the hell were these 2 years for if, like, I don't have a degree? But, like, I don't want to do this. And, like, why would I? This is the culture of nursing. Like, they want nurses. They want you to come and be a nurse. They want you to be an advocate. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. And then this is how you get treated. Like, when you see something wrong or you see something that's not right and then you say something about it, you get told, okay, well, if you bring it up, and that's the precedent that they're setting. And the only reason, the thing about life is, like, it's not always going to be smooth sailing. And it's like, again, I understand, like, at the end of the day is what it is. Like, I did what I did on the exams, but, like, to, like, threaten to shut me up with kicking me out of the program, she says to me, the matter is, like, based on your response, because I asked, I was like, you know, I'm just curious, like, you know, can you please explain to me, like, the policy for, like, can you please explain to me the chain of command for, like, addressing concerns? And she's like, I will take this response as you do not want to meet with me. This matter is now closed, period. Then the follow-up email came, don't bring this up again. If you bring it up again, we will count it as, like, student conduct and you'll be dismissed from the program. Okay. Whatever. I don't even know what I was saying. But then it's like, I don't know. I have a countdown. This is my 3rd week. We are 1 freaking 4th of the way there. And it's just it's just awful. Like, and I get it. Like, it's all about perspective and, like, looking at it and, like, trying to be better. But it's like, dude, I am so mentally, like, unwell from this situation. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even, like, I don't see, like, I can't, like, fathom, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know what the next, like, it doesn't feel like it's gonna end. Like, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like this is the end. Like, I don't feel, like, hope. I don't feel excitement. I feel nothing. I don't want to go to graduation. I'm not going to go to graduation. I can't even go to graduation because graduation falls on, like, a date that I won't be here. But, like, I don't even want to go to graduation. I don't want to celebrate this. I don't even want this to be real. Like, I want to graduate, you know, I'll take my nursing job, I'll do whatever, and, like, I am going to do something else with my life. Like, I never want to be a nurse. Like, this situation makes me never want to be a nurse, like, ever. What I'm going to do next, how I'm going to handle this job situation, like, just, you know, and to top it all off, just so that you know, if you fail, maybe this won't happen to you, but it's happening to me, like, you know, while I'm going through this emotional roller coaster hell, the next year of my life looking completely different than what I thought, planned, and had dreamed and hoped for, the best part is the people who you were with along the way are nowhere to be found. You want to know what's really freaking messed up? I'm going to tell you what's messed up. it's really messed up because you fail and then it's like all of a sudden, you know, you're stupid and incompetent, and like even though the entire quarter is preparation for NCLEX, like you can't study, like you can't get together and like study with your friends for like the NCLEX because like you failed. Like you aren't even studying for the NCLEX, like you failed. And then you just get excluded from everything because now like you're a loser and you know, whatever. And those people who swear that they're like, you know, there for you if you need them, where? Like, let me know. Let me know where, because I have literally had teachers check in on me, like random teachers checking in on me to make sure that I'm like, okay. People that I just met in this cohort making sure I'm okay, then the people I actually experienced this whole thing with. So just a reminder, the people you meet in nursing school suck, you know, with the exception of my boyfriend. I do like him, but like, yeah, for the most part, they suck. I'm on my way to class to take my ATI exam, get it over and done with, so we can move on. Our first comp, I think, is next week sometime. I don't really know. I actually feel like we have 2 weeks, but I could totally be making that up. Tomorrow I have lab, which is gonna suck because I work tomorrow night too. So when Friday rolls around, I am literally going to be completely exhausted. But we're touring an apartment on Friday, I believe, and then we're supposed to tour one on Saturday, but I didn't think I was going to get scheduled at the studio, but I am. And Friday is also competition, so I need to go there at some point. But I'm hoping after class on Friday, I'm hoping she like lets us out early, or I might just leave during break and just like bring my iPad in and just not stay the whole time, because we don't really do too much. But I just signed up for a half marathon in a couple weeks because I'm like bored and want to feel something. I made the determination today that my boyfriend is trying to kill me because he parked in the furthest lot possible outside when it is 40 degrees in Florida, and I am dying. But I just got off my night 2 of 3. Tonight is my very last night, and I'm so excited. I had ATI yesterday, and then today I have my dosage calc exam, which I'm really hoping I am able to pass. Which I'm really hoping I pass the first time. I don't see why I wouldn't, but I definitely need to just go over some of the conversions because it's not something I practice frequently. And I just want to make sure I get that out of the way because I do not want to have to retake freaking any dosage calc. So I want to do some practice questions after I wake up. So I have to be there at 1 because of all of the traffic and how freaking late I got out of report. I left the hospital at like 7:48, so a lot later. Like when I was a tech, I maybe left the hospital, and it's a lot different. I understand the importance of it, but it just kind of sucks when you have school and you live an hour from your job with morning traffic and commutes and stuff, because now I'm not going to get home till 8:45. By the time I take my makeup off and shower and brush my teeth, it'll probably be 9 o'clock before I get into bed, and I have to basically and lab is from 1 to freaking 5 o'clock. I left the studio, went home. I left the studio, I went and I got something to eat real quick with my boyfriend. And then, oh my God, I went to Sprouts to get a Cola Celsius, and I was like accepting the fact that they were gonna be like not cold, but they did have some that are chill. So I got a chilled one. I'm headed to competition. One of my dancers is competing tonight. I'm excited. It's the first dance of mine to hit the stage this season. So I'm hoping it goes well. I just have the one dance, and then hopefully the awards aren't too late. I feel like I might get screwed. I hope that like they're not that late. I don't think that they will be, because
She goes at 5:30, and like there's not that many like I just don't know. Maybe I don't. For some reason I think I thought I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I definitely work Friday, and I think I work Saturday night. So maybe I don't work Wednesday. Either way, so maybe Thursday is my first night back, which is awesome, because then Thursday I'll have like a whole day. I don't have lab or anything, get some decent sleep, and then go. But I'll have to double check and look at the calendar and just make sure.